guys, I am here with your next art lesson. So this week's theme is sun, moon, and stars. So I thought this would be a good way to incorporate in a cultural project. So I'm going to show you how to do something similar to Mexican tin art or Mexican folk art. We are going to use aluminum foil and then either a paper plate, or you can use like an empty food box, so like from a cereal box or something like that, that would work. And then some markers. You'll probably need scissors too, just to cut a couple things out. So you can gather up those supplies and we will get started. Mexican tin art, if you Google it, there's lots of really amazing images that come up, and you can check that out. It's a type of art that's been done there for many, many years. Using aluminum foil is one way to replicate that. So we are going to do that, and I will show you how to do yours into a sun to go along with our theme. So gather your supplies and then we can get started. I said you could use a paper plate. If you don't have a paper plate at home, you can use a cereal box or some sort of food box. And then what you can do is cut a chunk out of this and draw a circle on it and cut that out. We just need something to wrap the tin foil around. So it doesn't matter what it looks like or what the picture is, that doesn't matter as long as it's sturdy. So like I said, you can use a food box and draw a circle and cut it out, or you can use a paper plate. If you use a food box, a good thing to trace would be a bowl, like a cereal bowl. You could grab that or a roll of like masking tape. You can set that down and you can trace around that, and that will give you a circle shape that you can cut out. If you're using a paper plate, that's already circle shaped for you. So then what you're going to do is get a piece of aluminum foil. Make sure it is a little bit bigger than your circle, because we're going to fold it over the edges. So you're going to set it down, and then working gently, you're just going to fold the corners over first. That's what I found works the best. Fold the corners, and then you can go back around and fold the edges a little bit more. Now, if you're worried about it staying, you can certainly use your glue stick or glue and glue some of these edges down, or use tape and scotch tape them down. That's fine. Don't worry about what this back side looks like. This is not the part we're going to color on. So if it looks kind of messy, it's not a big deal. We are worried about the front side. So when you flip it over, you should have this nice foil circle to work with. Now they use a method called metal tooling, which if you've had me for art, we have done that a couple times. And that's where you take like a stick or something like that, and you draw into the surface of the metal, and it leaves an indent into the metal. That is one way of doing this. We are going to use markers for our design. If you have Sharpies at home, you can certainly use Sharpies for this. But if you don't, regular markers will work just fine. I know the theme this week is sun, moon, and stars, so I'm going to show you how to turn this into a sun. If you like this method and you want to try this again, or if you're just really not into sun, moon, and stars, you can do the same type of thing and then just draw whatever picture you want to on here. That's completely fine. But I am going to get out, since it's the sun, I'm going to get out my warm colors. Just as a reminder, warm colors are pink, red, yellow, orange. Those are our warm colors. Think of fire when you think of warm colors. Fire is warm and hot, and the colors that are in fire are considered warm colors. So I'm going to use these for the main part of it. So if you're using a paper plate, if you take your finger and gently press, like I am, all the way around, you will probably start to see, I'll try and hold it up, but I don't know if you'll see it. Oh, right there. You will start to see the edge of that center ring come through. That is perfect because then you can take your marker and trace that. And that can be your circle. Now, if you are using regular Crayola markers, which I believe is what got sent home in your kits, it is fine. You can absolutely use them. But try not to smear your hand when you're coloring because it might rub off until it dries. Just a heads up on that. So then you got your circle on there. I found the ridge. I'm going to color the inside yellow. Now light colors don't show up fantastic on foil. So that's why I did the outline in orange. Darker colors tend to show up really well. Basically any color other than yellow shows up really well on the foil. The yellow does show up, it's just a little bit harder to see. So you might want to outline with a darker one. So I'm going to do the inside yellow, like the sun. And now I'm going to do the rays. So an easy way to do the rays around the outside are triangles. So start in one spot and do your triangle up and down like that. And then what works best for me is to turn the plate as I make them instead of trying to turn my hand. And you can also, I should have colored these as I went, color them in as you go around, that way you're not rubbing your hand through them. A good rule to follow if you're trying not to smear your hand through anything, not just this, but any project that you're working on, is either work from the top down or work from the center out. That way you're not trying to get your hand right through what you have colored. Go all the way around with your rays. You can do as many or as few as you want. It's up to you completely. One thing you will notice if you do any sort of research into Mexican folk art, it is very, very colorful. So you want to do lots of colors. If you want, there's my sun. If you want, you can go back in and add a face to your sun, or you can add, like I might go around and add a little orange color around this outside, going in. You can add another layer of triangles behind this one. And then what I'm going to do next is add color behind. I'm going to add color behind the sun. So since the sun is warm colors, I'm going to choose cool colors for the background. Cool colors are your blues, greens, purples. That way it contrasts and the sun stands out a little bit better. So you can do this in a variety of ways. You can color the whole thing behind it one color. I'm not going to do my whole thing because then the video is going to be really long, but I'm just going to do a section here and give you some ideas. So you can color the whole thing one color. So I could do green and go all the way around, and then you can take your other colors and do designs. So I could add some circles or polka dots in here. I could use blue and add some lines coming out of those circles. Going around the edge. There's lots of different things that you can, I can't really see that very well. Lots of different things that you can do to add color around this. You could even take one of these markers, like purple, and you could outline your sun just to give it another layer of color. Like that. So I took purple and I outlined the rays. You could outline the inside, that inside ring with a color. There are lots of different options and different things you can do with this, but that is an easy way to make tin art if you don't have tin at home. You could do, I just did a sun because the theme this week is sun, moon, and stars, but you could always do a square or a diamond or any other shape, a heart, and then add color to the tin foil that way and turn it into something else. So this is a good method that you could do again if you enjoyed it and if you are interested. I hope you had fun and learned something new about a new type of art, and I will see you guys next week.